Hey everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome to the soothing sounds of construction in the background, because that is what my life is. So I purchased the Graphitint paint pan set out of sheer curiosity a while ago, and it's been sitting downstairs, and I'm not gonna lie, I forgot about it until I was cleaning up a pile of stuff and realized, oh right, I bought those because I was going to compare them to the pencils. You guys know I love the pencils. I use them all the time here on the channel. So let's see. Now, these are the same colors that are in the pencils, which I find interesting. However, the shades might come out a little different. Okay, so it's like plastic wrapped here. Listen, I never said I was smarter than packaging. There we go. Okay. Okay, so it's similar to the Inktense pans. You can pop these little sets of 6 out, and they're actually in half pans, it looks like. So you could swap those out as well. And then, a Derwent little squeegee brush thing. Oh, this comes off. Not user friendly. But I probably won't use this simply because that does make sense though, because obviously to travel you need to take this off. Oh my gosh, this takes forever. And plug the hole so your water doesn't go everywhere. Would it fit as one piece? No, it wouldn't. Okay, so that makes sense. So what we're gonna do is swatch these up. Now, this is just 12 colors. The Graphitint line comes in 24 pencil colors, but I just kind of wanted to see what these would be like. And yeah, so let me get my water brush. I'm not going to use the one that came with it because I'm picky, but we'll go from there. Okay, so Derwent Graphitint Pencils dissolve like no other, so I'm kind of curious to see how much water it'll take to get the pans. All right. Very concentrated. Now that's autumn brown. Let's see. This is russet. It needs more water. And then we got jets. We got construction, we got jets. What's next? Train horns? All right, so this is supposed to be meadow. I almost feel like you do need to pre-wet these. Similar to watercolors, you know, give them a little spritzer. The real question is, which direction do we go next? Let's try here and see if this is green-gray. Or steel blue. I think this is going to be steel blue. It is, I think. Doesn't look like it. So I got this fourth color over here, which supposedly would be green gray. Yeah, that looks about right. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Much more concentrated than, like, you know, going from the pencil sort of, but not, these won't be as versatile because the pencil, you can go back over it dark. Okay, so these are not in order. I'm just going to deduce that one right now because some of these colors I'm recognizing myself here, or it could just be because they're more concentrated. So I guess we'll see. Like, this should be aubergine. And it might very well be. Their little swatch chart is not even close, but I'm having to get my brush pretty wet. Juniper. So yeah, I mean, definitely more concentrated than the pencil version, but I kind of expected that, and I think that's kind of the point of having the pan set. That's definitely port. So yeah, maybe they just don't look right because I'm used to the more muted version. And the muted version is more autumnal as well. Okay. So that is quite interesting how much more vibrant they are. They do require a little bit more water. But also, the one thing I am noticing is you're not seeing the graphite. So I'm going to grab my swatch chart of the 24 Graphitint just for comparison. Okay, so here are the Graphitint swatches. Now, these are obviously way lighter. For example, which one did I say was port? Okay. So here's port from the pencil. This is what it looks like dry. And in the dry one, oh my gosh, Jets, please. You can actually see ever so slightly, you see that gray tinge of graphite. And then here it is dissolved. Now here it is right off the pan. So it's a lot richer. Same thing with russet. Actually, russet would be a good one to compare. These colors aren't even similar at all. Here's russet from the Graphitint. Here's russet from the Graphitint tin. Autumn brown is pretty close. Like this is autumn brown here, autumn brown here. Meadow. The meadows are pretty close. This one's just a little richer compared to that one. Let's see, what's another good one? Ocean blue. Oh, here's a good one to look at. Okay, look how much darker these are. These don't even look like the same color. So that's ocean blue and that's ocean blue. So yeah, I mean, they're definitely richer coming out of here. One thing I wanted to look at. Okay, so they say, I mean, there's graphite in here. However, it's to create subtle muted tones. I would suggest putting these on a palette to get these subtle muted tones because nothing's subtle here. And they recommend cold pressed, which is the only thing I use. And that's because it's got the nice little divots. But it should have a granulation of colors. Well, on these ones, there is not. They're much brighter though. So I'm wondering what I'm gonna do is I already have a paintbrush from Swatching Paints and some paint cups. I am going to get some on the tray, water it down a bit, and let's see if we can get some movement. Let's do this first one actually, because I mean, they provide you with these cute little mixing trays. And technically, you can start mixing up some of your own colors. Okay. Okay. All right. I see the graphite inside there. I don't know if you guys can. It's almost like I need one of those slow-mo. But I don't waste time on editing. But yeah, can you see the little graphite granules in there? Granules probably isn't the best word, but you all know what I meant. All right, so I'm just gonna pre-wet the page a little here. I'm gonna go straight from the pan and add, oh yeah, okay. If you go wet to wet, I can see the grain there. Now I'm gonna grab this little doodad group here I got. Let me add a little more over there. And we'll swatch that. Oh, yep. I can definitely see it there as well. Try another color that was super vibrant. Let's get this ocean blue. Okay, so in fact, ocean blue is right here. So let's do this for comparison's sake. Here's off the palette. I can see it in there. Now let's do a wet on wet. My water is getting kind of filthy, but bear with me. Okay, yep. All right, so to get the most out of your Graphitint pans, especially if you want that graphite to show up, you need to mix it with water on the palette, Because look here, even this one that I mixed with water, I don't know if the camera will pick it up. You can see the tiny flecks of graphite coming through. And then on this one, you can see the granulation already starting to form, as opposed to how it looked up here, just flat color. Same thing with this ocean blue. You got ocean blue here, but here you can already see the granulation starting to happen. And then on the wet on wet, even more. So yeah, to get the most out of the Graphitint pans, you're going to need to use them similar to watercolor. Now, what does that mean if you like Graphitint pencils? Like, so my thing with Graphitint pencils is I enjoy coloring into a book, activating them, and then going back over them with the dry medium, kind of like I did here as an example. This is the same color on top of activated color, just to give it a little bit more depth. And I do that in my adult coloring pages. So you could still use these as a base, and you could easily go back over these with the dry Graphitint as well. So you can still add your definition. The only thing is this non-activated is really close to that. So you'd want to water these down to really get that like smooth effect. And also the whole point of the Graphitint, or the reason I love them, is because they're muted. They're great for fall and winter pictures. But yeah, to get the most from your palette, you're going to want to mix them on your palette with water or do a wet on wet technique. And then you can go back and do some shading later. I mean, look here, they did this little image on the cover. Oh, those are some pretty mixes they made. These are not just straight colors, by the way. They have some mixes all up in there, but it's gorgeous. So yeah, I would definitely recommend using them that way. So use them like watercolor, but keep in mind these are not watercolors. So while you're using similar technique, these are not a watercolor pencil, and these pans here are not watercolors. This is water soluble graphite. No matter which form you grab it in, that's what it is. So you do want to keep that in mind. But overall, this pan actually wasn't too bad. Now, what would I recommend buying? Honestly, you would save more if you just bought these bad boys here. The little 12 set is cute and fun, but honestly, these are more portable, and I can use them dry and wet. I got my 24 colors ready to go in a single tin that I purchased. I don't have to sit and fuss with a water brush or sitting here and mixing on a palette, because if I'm on the go, I can just take my set of 24 here. I can take a water brush and I can work on a page, activate what I need, go back over it when it's dry. And I have more versatility with this. And if you want these to be as vibrant as these, hold that thought. Okay, took some digging. So what you could do, I took Autumn Brown, which is this color here. Look, see, we'll even do that dry. So you can see, which is this color here and this color here. Now, I'm using a rough surfaced cutting board. Now, not cutting board. This is the Korilynn palette. You do not need to go buy a Korilynn palette. In fact, go to your dollar store and get just a cutting board. But I'm going to mix it up on there. And ta-da! So, that's why I'm saying the pencils would be more versatile, because this is watered down, by the way, now. All right. Because now I can draw with it into my coloring page if I'm doing it for adult coloring, activate it, go over it, and I'll get basically this color if I activate it that way. But I can also put it on a palette if I want to treat it like a paint, and I get this color here. Now, is it as rich as this one here? Not quite, but this was straight off the palette. And I have this one here. I can try to make it less watered down. So I'll have my brush just a teensy drier and see if that'll keep it nice and concentrated. Nah, it stays about the same. So yeah, that's the only trade-off, is your color will not get as dark. I don't want to say as vibrant, because none of these colors are vibrant per se. They're supposed to be muted. Anyway, that's literally in the box description. So, fun fact. But the other thing you will notice is you don't get that, you don't see the graphite granulation like you do with the pan. So I guess you'll have to ask yourself, do you really want granulation? If you do, go buy some granulating watercolors. There's dozens, and there's some that are so affordable, like the Van Gogh series. Go buy those. Yeah, just go buy those. But I personally would recommend buying the pencils over the pan set. The pan set is pretty expensive. This set here is going to last you forever though, but so are the pencils. I have used this pencil quite a bit, and look how much of it I have left. It's practically 3/4 of the way there. So you get more versatility out of the pencil in my opinion, but that's just one gal's opinion. I would love to hear your thoughts if you have both, what you think of them. Do you prefer the tins or pan set, should I say? Or do you prefer the pencils? But yeah, at the end of the day, I would say go pencils, but that's just me, one gal's opinion. We are all so different, but at least you know the versatility of the pencil and the capabilities of the pan, so you can make an informed decision. All right, I've rambled long enough, so until next time, take care. Bye now.